Before you give up, consider this. Most men surrender too soon. They believe they have lost the battle before the war has even begun. She is pulling away, acting distant, not responding the way she used to, and you feel like it is over. But what if this is actually your greatest opportunity? What if, instead of walking away defeated, you could turn everything in your favor without chasing, begging, or losing your self-respect? Most men never understand this. They act too soon, too desperately, and too emotionally, and that is exactly what ruins everything. But if you apply what follows, you will be in a position most men never reach. 1. Why she is pulling away in the first place. Most men panic when a woman becomes distant. They assume she has lost interest, found someone else, or simply does not care anymore. But the reality is much deeper. Women do not just wake up one day and stop feeling something. It happens gradually, in stages. She stops feeling the chase. When she first met you, there was mystery, excitement, and challenge. Now she knows exactly how you feel, and it has become predictable. She tests your emotional control. Women subconsciously want to see how you handle emotional shifts. Do you panic? Do you overreact? Or do you remain unshaken? She needs space to feel something again. Attraction is not built on words, but on distance, tension, and emotions. When something is always available, it loses value. This is where most men fail. Instead of pulling back when she does, they push harder. They text more, call more, and try harder, and that is when attraction dies. Because if she does not have to work for your attention, she will not value it. 2. The silent test you did not notice. Here is something most men miss entirely. When a woman pulls away, it is often a subconscious test. She does not always plan it, but her instincts are watching. She is wondering, is he emotionally strong enough to handle this? Will he chase or will he hold his ground? Does he truly have options, or is he just pretending? And here is the dangerous part. Most men fail instantly. She ignores them, and they text again. She takes longer to respond, and they ask if everything is okay. She cancels plans, and they try to reschedule immediately. Every single one of these reactions proves to her that she is in full control. But the men who pass this test, the ones who truly stand out, do something different. They do not react emotionally. They do not chase. They do not beg for answers. They simply hold their position. That is when she starts to feel something unexpected. Regret. 3. The power of controlled distance. Most men do not realize this. Women do not fall in love with presence. They fall in love with absence. The less you give away freely, the more she values what she gets. Think about it. When something is always available, you stop noticing it. But when something disappears, you start craving it. That is why pulling back at the right time is the most powerful move you can make. Instead of texting her first, wait. Instead of liking her posts, ignore them. Instead of adjusting your schedule for her, prioritize yourself. Because when you stop being predictable, stop being too easy to reach, and stop reacting instantly, everything changes. She starts noticing your absence. That is when she starts wondering, why is he not reacting? Did he lose interest? Is he seeing someone else? The moment you stop giving freely, she starts missing you. 4. What to do instead of chasing. Most men try to fix situations like this. They think, Maybe if I explain myself, if I show her how much I care, she will come back. But attraction does not work like that. Instead of trying to win her back with words, do this. Match her energy. If she is distant, do not overcompensate. Pull back and stay neutral. If she reaches out, respond, but do not overinvest. 5. How to handle it. Most men make the mistake of welcoming her back too easily. She disappears for a week, then suddenly texts, "Hey!" And what do? They jump at the opportunity. Big mistake. Here is how to handle it instead. Stay calm. Do not act like her message is the best thing that has happened to you. Let her work for it. If she disappeared, she needs to prove she is serious about coming back. Take back control of the pace. Do not fall into old patterns. Let her feel the distance before giving her too much attention again. If you do this, she will respect you more, because now she knows she cannot take you for granted. 6. If she never comes back, read this. Here is the truth you need to accept. Not every woman will come back, and that is okay. If she pulls away and never returns, she has just saved you from wasting more time on the wrong person. You do not want a woman who stays only when you chase her. You want a woman who chooses to stay because she values you. 7. The power of silence. Here is something most men will never understand. Silence is one of the most powerful responses you can give. Most men think they need to argue, explain themselves, or fight for her attention when she starts pulling away. But the truth is, silence speaks louder than words ever could. It creates mystery, uncertainty, and a shift in emotional power. At first, she might not even notice. She assumes you will be back. She assumes you will check in, send a text, or try to fix things. But then days pass, then weeks, and suddenly she realizes something is different. That is when everything starts shifting in her mind. Because now you are no longer predictable. You are no longer the man who always checks in or waits. Instead, you have disappeared from her world, and that creates a void she was not expecting. It forces her to reevaluate her feelings for you. 8. Why women underestimate you until you go silent. Most women assume that men will always be available. They assume that no matter what they do, no matter how much they pull away, you will still be there waiting. And why would they think otherwise? Most men chase. Most men cannot handle a woman's distance. But when you do not act like most men, when you choose silence over chasing, it disrupts her expectations. She starts thinking, wait, why isn't he reacting? Why hasn't he tried to talk to me? Is he actually moving on? And those thoughts spark something deep inside her. It forces her to ask herself a question she never expected to ask. Did I misjudge him? That question alone creates a wave of emotions that most women are not prepared for. 9. The moment she starts to feel your absence. Here is the part most men never get to see, because they give up too early. At first, she feels fine. She might even feel relieved. She assumes you will reach out soon. But then, silence. No texts, no calls, no engagement on her social media, nothing. Days turn into weeks. She starts checking her phone more often, still nothing. And that is when it hits her. For the first time, she is the one feeling uncertain. She is the one wondering if she made a mistake, because now you are no longer chasing, and that changes everything. 10. The unspoken rule of attraction. Here is a truth most men do not realize. A woman values you based on how difficult you are to replace. When you were always there, always available, she never had to think about losing you. But now, she is starting to feel your absence. And that feeling, it is unsettling. She starts wondering if she took you for granted. She starts wondering if she misjudged your worth. The best part? She does not even realize she is doing it. It happens naturally, subconsciously, because when something is always available, it loses value. But when something disappears, it becomes a mystery. And mystery creates attraction. 17. Why she suddenly starts watching you again. Once the silence sets in, she does what most women do. She starts watching. She starts checking your online activity. She starts scrolling through old messages. She might even start liking your posts again, just to see if you will react. But why? Because she is trying to figure something out. Did I actually lose him? That question keeps her mind locked on you, because the moment a woman thinks she might have lost a man who was once devoted to her, it stirs emotions she never expected. It forces her to reevaluate everything. And that is when she starts feeling the weight of your absence. 18. The subtle signs she is testing the waters. Here is where most men fail. The second she throws out a test, they take the bait. Maybe she sends a random, "Hey," maybe she reacts to one of your posts, maybe she texts you about something meaningless. But it is not meaningless. It is her way of saying, "Are you still there?" And if you respond too quickly, too eagerly, you confirm that she still has you. Just like that, the game resets. She knows she can still get your attention whenever she wants, and she loses interest all over again. 19. How to handle the moment she reaches out. If she reaches out after your silence, most men think it is a victory. They think, "She came back, now I can act normal again." Wrong. This is the most critical moment, because how you respond now determines everything. You have two choices. Fall right back into old patterns and let her feel in control. Or stay composed and let her work for your attention. The second option is what keeps her interested, because now you are not the same man she once knew. Now you are a challenge, and women crave challenges. 20. The ultimate mindset shift. Here is what you need to understand. You never want to be the man who is always available, always chasing. Instead, focus on your own life and priorities. When you give her space, when you allow her to miss you, you become more valuable in her eyes. You become someone she has to work for. And that is what creates lasting attraction. Win a woman over by becoming the man who never has to chase. You do not win by chasing a woman. You win by becoming the kind of man who never has to chase. You win by having standards, valuing your time, and making her prove she deserves your energy. That is when everything changes. Because now you are in control, not through manipulation, not through games, but through self-respect. And that is what separates the men who get played from the men women cannot forget. 21. When your silence becomes unbearable for her. There comes a point where your silence is no longer just noticed, it is felt. At first she brushed it off, thinking you would be back. She assumed you would eventually give in, send a message, try to reconnect. But now she is feeling something unexpected. Your absence is no longer just a minor inconvenience, It is messing with her emotions. She checks her phone hoping to see your name pop up. She finds herself revisiting old conversations, trying to remember if she missed a sign that you were slipping away. And the more time passes, the more she starts questioning herself. Did I push him too far? Was I wrong about him? Is he really gone for good? 22. The secret most men never understand. This is not just about missing you. This is about power. She is realizing that she does not have the control she thought she did, and that drives her crazy. 23. When she starts looking for you in other men. One of the hardest things for a woman to admit is that she misjudged a man. She starts talking to new people, hoping to replace the feeling she once had with you. But no matter who she meets, something feels off, because now she is comparing every man to the one she thought she had figured out, the one who walked away. And that is when she truly understands. Losing you was never part of her plan. 24. The psychology of searching for what she cannot have. One of the most fascinating aspects of human psychology is this. When someone cannot have what they want, they start searching for it elsewhere. And when a woman realizes you are not reaching out, she tries to fill that void, even if she does not fully understand why she is doing it. She might start texting old flings, seeking attention from new guys, or posting things online, hoping you will react. But here is the truth. None of it feels the same. The second she tries to replace you, she starts comparing. And when she starts comparing, she loses. No matter who she talks to, you are still on her mind. You have become a mystery. A question mark in her head that she cannot answer. And the more she tries to push past it, the more she realizes she is only making it worse for herself. 25. Why her ego will not let her admit she misses you. Women have two sides when it comes to missing someone. There is the emotional side, where she feels the loss, the regret, the longing. And then there is the ego, the part that hates to lose. Her ego will not let her admit she was wrong. It will not let her be the first to fully own up to her feelings. So instead of reaching out with honesty, she plays games. She might send a random text like, "Hey, hope you are doing well," hoping you will take the bait and restart the conversation. She might suddenly post about how happy she is, how she is moving on, or how amazing life is, just to see if you will react. But inside, she is hoping you are still watching. She is hoping you will give her a sign that she still has your attention. But the moment you do not react, that is when the real battle begins. Because now she cannot tell if you are truly over her or if you have simply mastered something most men never do. Detachment. 26. Detachment. The game changer. Detachment. That is what breaks her ego. When she finally realizes you are the prize, that is when everything flips. She understands that you were not just another guy. You were not someone she could string along forever. You were not someone who would wait forever. And the painful part? She realizes it too late. Because by now, you have changed, you have grown, you have become the man who no longer waits for her validation. And in that moment, she finally understands what you understood all along. The real value was never in her approval, but in your ability to walk away. Because now she is no longer in control, you are. And now she is the one left wondering if she will ever get another chance. 27. what to do when she comes back. Here is where most men fail. When she finally reaches out, most guys fall right back into the trap. They respond too quickly, act too eager, and give her exactly what she wanted from the start: validation. And once she gets that validation, she disappears again. That is why you cannot play this the way most men do. If she comes back, you must stay grounded. You must act like a man who is not fazed by her return. Do not drop everything just because she texts you. Do not make her the center of your world just because she shows interest again. Do not fall back into the same patterns that made her take you for granted in the first place. Instead, let her work for it. Because if she truly values you, she will prove it, not with words, but with actions. And if she does not, then you have just won the game, because you finally realize that you never needed her in the first place. 28. Do not chase. Level up. If she let you down, do not beg, do not chase, just level up. Focus on yourself, keep moving forward, and let your silence speak for you.